The following Let's Play has been rated not safe for young children. Any attempts to break the game are for entertainment value only. However, if any typos happen to be found, mwahaha! Hello everyone, welcome back to this game. So basically what happened was, I set where on my screen to record the video, then I moved the game window to make room for WordPad, and I forgot to set where to record again. So, big mistake on my part. So essentially, I had to load my alternate file where I skipped Iris and work my way up to this point. The reason I started recording right here before this pause again is because I felt that last time the fight went a bit too unfairly. I'm not even sure if he got an attack in. So now that I'm here without Iris, I'm going to fight him more fairly on camera. Granted, I do have an attack here that can cause confusion, but it causes a whole 20. It costs a whole 20 MP. So, you know, I'm probably only going to use it once. Also, I have here a burning bomb, which, first off, the description has a bit of a typo there. I'd use it in this battle, but it only has a chance of causing burn, so I'm going to save it for the next boss fight, because the next boss fight, when I recorded, was really hard, even with confusion. So, I'm going to save that for then. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and do my usual thing here. Double tap and run Genkai. Wow, this guy hits hard. Alright. I'll use Nightmare just once, just because, you know, it'll help. Why is it that magic attacks in this game are so much weaker than physical attacks? Well, maybe not the case when it comes to our party members here, but it's a case for enemies where you're kind of glad to be attacked by magic attacks. Granted, I probably brought that up before, but whatever. Anyway, this guy, if I recall, has just over 3,000 HP. I'm not sure how far in I am so far, but you know, I've made some good headway thus far. Potentially, I'm going to have some fresh audience members here. I'm going to be posting this video at an RPG Maker VX forum. So, I kind of have to explain who I am here. Well, actually, I don't really have to explain who I am, because, you know, the introduction of my LPs kind of has me covered. I also need to go into details of that I do RPG Maker games. I also don't need to go into detail about how I like to try breaking RPG Maker games. What I do want to bring up after I heal... Oh, I really don't want to use that. I don't think I have a choice though. Because this guy causes a lot of damage. Except when he does that. I'm not sure. Is Burn Cake? Yeah, Burn Cake wore out, so I gotta cast that again anyway. One thing I would like to explain is I do kind of, for my LPs, I am not always on topic. Because you can only say so much about the game you're playing before you either start repeating yourself or you start narrating yourself. Oh, there we go. See, that was much more of a challenge. Still pretty easy, but not bad. Familiar. That's... Wait, what? Yeah, we light the beacon. This isn't a lighthouse, as it turns out it's something else, but I forget what exactly it was. Did I learn this last time? I can't remember. No, I mean, no, I eventually learned it, but... I'm not sure if I learned it from that fight. No, I had to have, because the enemies aren't random, they're very set encounters. It's kind of a shame that I did have to take the time to bring this party up here, because I would have liked to have made it so waited until I got the code for that one, whatever it is, and used whatever reward I got in order to have an easy time getting up here. I still managed, though. The Temple of the Stars has risen! Be careful, young warriors. There is evil lurking in the depths. One thing I'd like to mention. This rogue adept here, adept rogue, first off, is rogue spelled that way? I'm not sure. But, is there any significance to this being an adept rogue? Because, well, the thing of it is, they made it, Rip the Punk made it seem important that this was an adept rogue because we're all, this person's too powerful, we might as well go into this lighthouse to light the beacon. Well, the thing of it is, first off, that we had to light the beacon in order to even make this temple here appear in the first place. And also, are we going to find more adept rogues? Are the rogues going to be fleshed out, or is this pretty much the only one that we're going to find? If this is the only one that we're going to find, then there's no significance at all about it being a rogue. It might as have been a regular adept to tell us that we can't access the temple because it's not visible. Another warrior's heart. I'm gonna save these for a bit because there might be a situation where I might get another party member. I mean, there's a 4th party member box, and thus far I found 3. And we got Cthulhu. Actually, it's a Razor Swordsman who looks nothing like Cthulhu. Of course. Not just any... Wait, what is it called? Razor Swordsman? You would think that he'd have some name in relation to him being a shark. And not just any shark, a hammerhead, which is pretty cool. After that last boss fight, I went into this dungeon kind of thinking how it was kind of becoming unfair having confusion at my disposal all the time, but then it turns out, even with confusion, I had a lot of problems with this dungeon. I already mentioned how much trouble I had with... Now that's a magic attack to worry about. I don't think it's any more powerful than the regular attack, but still kinda hurt. But yeah, I already mentioned how I had trouble with the boss at the end of this dungeon. Okay, the regular attack is still more powerful. But ultimately, the whole dungeon gave me trouble. As you can see here, I'm pretty much getting my butt kicked. Already, after this first fight, I'm going to have to retreat back to the inn, back by the cathedral. After I find out what this is. It is a frost charm. I already have enough frost charms. So I'm going to go heal and come back. Actually, there is one thing I want to bring up while I'm on my way back anyway. Give me a moment to get there. Well, actually, it's right here. I come up to the Petra Crystal, and let's see, use the Petra Crystal? Yes. Where will you travel? The Adept Cathedral or nowhere? Is there any reason you're giving me a choice? I mean, in the cathedral here, you are given multiple places to go, but in every place we've been to, you've only had one choice, return to the cathedral. If we're only going to have the choice of going to the cathedral or not anyway, why not just make it so that all you have to do is say yes, and then you're teleported to the cathedral? Is there going to be some point where we will have more than one option in those places? I think considering how powerful that Ice Sword attack is, I'll go ahead and use the Frost Charm on Talus, even though the Gina's Hammer gives him a better attack power. Well, this also gives him a better defense though, so it balances out. Anyway, reason we're here, for those who forgot, is we're going after these, Sun Talisman? No, it wasn't the Sun Talisman, it's the Star Talisman we're going after. Wait, isn't it kind of redundant to have both a Sun Talisman and a Star Talisman? I mean, they're kind of both the same thing. I mean, stars are just basically sun. Well, the sun is basically a star. Although, then again, we also got the Moon Talisman, so it kind of makes sense. Sun, Moon, stars. That still caused a lot of damage. It might turn out here that I'm going to have to return to the inn after every single battle, which is kind of tedious. Okay, who do we have here? We have... I'm not sure what we have. Squirriad? Doesn't look like a squirrel. Oh, it's a squid. The octopus with a skull head and squid. What am I looking at? Anyway, I mean, I've seen these guys before, but, you know, I still look at this guy and kind of wonder... Well, I gotta give credit, it is certainly an interesting looking enemy, and yeah, I'm pretty much gonna have to head to the inn after every battle. There goes Talus. Well, I don't like people missing out on experience, so I'm gonna attempt to run. Let's see how many attempts this takes. I made it! I didn't make it. Try that again. I'm dead. Alright, back to the inn. You know, I wouldn't mind being in a nice temple right now. Gonna be a hot day today. Alright, let's try this guy again. This guy, going down. I'm not sure what other attacks this guy has. I mean, I know I already tried playing through this place a week ago, but, you know, I don't have the greatest memory. This might be his only attack, actually. Part of the reason this place has took a while. Well, first off, it doesn't help if I'm going to keep missing. Part of the reason why this place was difficult was because, first off, these squid guys, they're not immune to confusion, but they weren't very easy to confuse. Plus, they're also really... Oh, thank you. They have a lot of HP. And how much health did I lose? I lost half of my health again. Well, what's the next enemy we're going to come across? Oh, two of those guys. Heading back to the inn again. Yeah, I know it's rather tedious to head all the way back to the inn every time, but whenever you make the items so much more expensive than just going to the inn, it's worth the effort, worth the trek back. Next thing, well, I might as well start my story, because, Well, this isn't a very long dungeon, and the story is a long one, so it's best if I get started. At least I'll get started after I make the next trip to the end. I really hope the next level up does me some real good. Boy, Talus has taken the brunt of the attacks this battle. Die, please. Thank you for missing. That would have been pretty bad. To have somebody die after just going to the end. Losing all 553 health in one battle. Definitely hoping the level up does something good for me. How close am I? Oi! Alright, the story. Now, most of you who have watched the revival of my Aiden Chronicles Let's Play are probably going to already know part of the story here, but, you know, I intentionally left out certain parts just so I could, you know, pad out this episode with the story, the whole story. So, some months ago, as some of you may remember, I bought myself some new cables for my Let's Plays, particularly of the S-video sort. That way, whenever I get back to console games, I'll have some higher quality looking videos. I didn't bother plugging any of them in at the time because that would have meant having to reach behind my entertainment cabinet and rearranging some cables, and I didn't really want to deal with that. Plus, I wasn't going to be starting any console games right away anyway. For those wondering, I didn't plug in any S-video cables for the Door LP. It really wasn't worth going through all that effort when I was about to play a pretty crappy game anyway. So anyway, took me long enough to get back to Aiden Chronicles, didn't it? Well, finally, last weekend, as in, oh, I don't know, what would I say here? Well, not the weekend that just ended, but the weekend before. First off, that was a terrible weekend for Let's Playing, let me tell you. I know I already said that during my Mario's Amazing Adventure Let's Play, but trust me, terrible weekend for Let's Plays. I mean, it was bad enough that I had to lose out on this recording this episode and have to record it all over again here. But anyway, so last weekend I decided to record Aiden Chronicles because I figured it was high time I got back to that. So, I would like to start off by saying that the Nintendo 64 memory packs are kind of faulty. Now, first off, I would like to make note that there is currently a Let's Play going on. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's currently going on or just ending. I think it's just ending. But there's a Let's Play going on, just ending, of Quest 64. Done by fellow RPG Maker Magazine member, Rip the Punk / not Rip the Punk. Why did I say Rip the Punk? No, it's not Rip the Punk. It's being done by Full of Sin / Hypersonic / Ash the Bloody / I forget what his YouTube name is. Hold on just a sec. No, I'm not gonna check. Okay, maybe I will. Silver Tempest. He's doing Quest 64. And I find this to be an interesting coincidence that he'd be starting Quest 64 just as I'm ready to get back to Aiden Chronicles, considering they use very similar battle systems, and were both published by THQ. Against my better judgment, I'm going to continue off in this direction, even though I know there's this guy to deal with. Yeah, that's the best one. I was kind of planning on doing Quest 64 myself. First off, I acquired Quest 64 because I had rented it once a long time ago, and figured maybe I'll eventually start it for a Let's Play, but that won't be until... It wouldn't be until after I'm done with Aiden Chronicles, so by the time I got around to it, it wouldn't matter that so much that somebody else LP'd it from the same site that I go to. I'm not taking any chances with this guy. You're dead. No, you're not. Crap, crap, crap. Well, as long as I'm going to have to go back to the inn anyway. Guard! It didn't help! Wonderful! And Rip loses out on experience. No, he doesn't. Can I run? Thank you. No, I can't, because you're immediately put back into battle the moment you run. Eventually, though, unless I get killed... No, I'm getting killed. It's possible to eventually run if the enemy randomly decides to try walking in a different direction, but as you can see, it's not very likely. So I gotta head back to the inn again. And I forgot what I was saying about the Let's Playing stuff, so I'll get back to you. Oh, there's an enemy up there. I'll have to get after him after I get back from the inn. And I know I'm showing a lot of these battles, but, you know, I have this story to tell. It's going to take a while. And I didn't bother to stop and remember what I was talking about. Let's see, Quest 64, going to LP at some time. Oh, yeah. I decided that since I was going to watch his LP of it, I might as well just play the game without Let's Playing it. Because I haven't beat the game before, he hadn't beaten the game before. I figured I'd play along with him, try to stay ahead of him, so that, you know, the experience isn't spoiled by a Let's Play. Now, the memory pack that I had in my controller at the time did not have enough memory for Quest 64, so I had to swap it out. So I put in the other memory card, or memory pack that I have, and it doesn't work. It's all... There is no memory card inserted, or the memory card is corrupted. Turns out that, you know, I'm going to have to just use more powerful attacks if I want to be able to fight more than one battle each trip. First, I'm going to get rid of this ice formation, even though I don't have to, because ice formations bother me, and yeah. So anyway, eventually I managed to get the memory pack working so that... Oh, did I equip the wrong thing? Yeah, I did. And then I equipped the wrong thing again. There we go. So anyway, I managed to get it working and start myself on going through some Quest 64. Managed to keep ahead of Sin a little. Eventually, though, I'm ready to start on my Aiden Chronicles LP. The problem being, of course, that my Aiden Chronicles save is on the other memory pack, so I have to swap it out. And I figured, you know, just in case, as long as I'm swapping memory packs around anyway, I might as well make some backup saves. So I load up the save of Aiden Chronicles on the one memory pack, swap back to the one with Quest 64 on it, make 2 saves on that. And I figured with 3 saves, nothing can go wrong. I'll have a couple backups just in case. Well, as it turns out, after making those saves, that memory card with Quest 64 on it manages to screw up anyway, and pretty much all the files on it go away. Quest 64, both backups of Aiden Chronicles, as well as whatever other saves I had sitting on there. And it's like, well, crap. So, I put back in the other memory card to retrieve the Aiden Chronicles saves, and, well, you know where this is going. That save winds up deleting itself too. So, yeah, that really sucked. All three Aiden Chronicles saves gone, plus the Quest 64 save gone, plus I don't know what other saves I had gone. And also, on the memory card with that I was using for Aiden Chronicles in the first place, I had some Excitebike 64 saves. I no longer have Excitebike 64, but I had them kept on there just in case, because one of the save files, or at least one of the save files, was... Well, first off, the memory pack was very much full of custom tracks, because Excitebike 64 has this really nice feature where you can build your own tracks. I managed to find a glitch in Excitebike 64, because you know I'm really good at that, where I had a custom piece that was so steep that the only way to be able to climb it is to do a wheelie, and as for computerized racers, more often than not they'll just try ramming against the wall of a slope, only to constantly crash. And it was a really neat glitch, and I wanted to save it just in case I got Excitebike 64 again. That way I can show the glitch off. Well, thankfully not all the Excitebike 64 files got deleted, but some of them did, and I have no idea which of them has that particular file, and I cannot remember how I caused the glitch. So that potentially sucks as well. So naturally this means that, first off, through Quest 64, I'll just watch the Let's Play. I'm not gonna play that game anymore just to, you know, have the experience for myself. I mean, I shouldn't have unequipped that. I mean, I like Quest 64 to an extent, but it's a really boring game. Plus, I'm gonna have to catch back up in Aiden Chronicles anyway. I'm not going to play catch up in two different slow and boring games. So forget Quest 64. Alright, I'll skip this guy. It's the golem guy again. He has a lot of HP and that's it. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance and go into this next fight. Plus there's a treasure chest up there. It might have something very useful. No, not that. That. So... Oh no! Goodbye! Goodbye! Goodbye, or not. You know, that actually wasn't... Wait a sec, I fought these guys in the last dungeon. Why am I... Whatever. I guess I'll just continue running because I wasted some HP trying to run anyway. Or I'll die, one of the two. Whichever happens first. I edited this out, but I wanna see if I can get it on camera where I'm actually able to run away. It's not looking good. Nope, I'm dead. Well, I'm gonna try that again anyway, now that I've remembered that those guys are easier. Of course, back to the story, didn't really feel like going through all that effort to get back to Aiden Chronicles anyway. I mean, it's been a long time since I've done the LP, but I figure, whatever, it's really tedious to get back to where I was. Obviously, you guys saw that I actually did get back to it, but for a moment, just forget that. So I decide, maybe I'll just do some other game as a Let's Play. Some game where I can tell this story. An early choice was Kirby's Dream Land 2, because, you know, it's a platformer, not a whole lot to do there. But, you know, Kirby's Dream Land 2 wasn't even on my list of games to LP, so it wouldn't make much sense to LP it. This room looks pointless. Also, I'd like to point out something. You can step right here. You really need to make sure that whatever tiles you place are actually, whether they're walkable or non-walkable. And now I'm going to retreat because that guy will kill me. Another choice was Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie, as some of you may know, is my favorite game of all time. So, I figured, you know, it would be a good choice because after having my save files get deleted like that, I could use a really good game to Let's Play. But then I remembered my Aiden Chronicles, or not Aiden Chronicles, my Spiteful Dead Let's Play. That was my favorite RPG Maker game. And at the time, I wasn't that good of a Let's Player. First off, with all the dialogue going on, and I wasn't reading dialogue out loud, a whole lot of the game was silent and slow. So, I kind of regret doing the Let's Play, because of how much better it could have been done. And I don't want to... right now, I'm definitely better at doing this Let's Play stuff, but I think there's still room for improvement, and so I don't want to do my Banjo-Kazooie Let's Play knowing that somewhere down the line it's going to be where I know that, where I look back on Banjo-Kazooie and think, dang, I could have done so much better. Oh, thank goodness, we got some cloud cover going on. My house is still 84 because my air conditioning can't keep up, but, you know, that'll help. Anyway, go after this guy. I'll show this one on camera this time. Even though my strategy is pretty much the same every single battle. Anyway. Oh, I just thought. What is it? What is it? Familiar. Channel a spirit, gain attack, defense, spirit up, cast possession. Alright, let's cast possession then. Actually, no, let's save that because it does attack up, and I just cast from Genkai already, so never mind. We'll save that for a different enemy. Anyway, back to the story. As soon as I can remember where oh yeah, my ultimate decision, the final decision of what I would Let's Play. Well, I might as well mention a couple other games. I considered Breath of Fire 4 because I never beat that game, and that would be a really good game to Let's Play. And that's the only other game I can think of that I considered. My ultimate decision, the final decision, was Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, and both the sequels, because I have some very different opinions about each game in the series, and the timing would be good because of how... Did I just recast from Genkai? Gosh, I hope not. Well, it doesn't matter. Hey, that wasn't too bad. Shell Stem? That's probably in battle item. Yep, raises defense. That might come in handy. I'll use it for the boss fight, probably. Not sure how much it'll help, but you never know. So anyway... Also, there's the fact that the new slide game was recently announced. I figure, you know, maybe there's a small chance that somebody who's developing the game will look upon my LP and get some insight on what works and... gotta re-equip that. What works and what doesn't for the new slide game. And we got a guy over here standing still. Is it a boss? No, it's just another squid guy. He's just standing there because I have to have room to jump onto the space next to him. And while I'm sure it wouldn't be a real glitch or cause any issue if he was standing on the spot that I leapt onto, it really wouldn't look nice, so it's a nice touch that he's not stepping onto it. Boy, I won that battle by the skin of my teeth. In the treasure chest we have Magma Buster. Ooh. This would be our new weapon for Talis, which deals fire damage. These guys are gonna be hurting now. Oh, and it raises your defense and spirit. Nice. And of course, this also means that since this is not a two-handed weapon, I can go ahead and equip this for even more defense. Now wait a sec. Wow, that really lowers my attack power if I equip it. Oh, Magma Buster is a two-handed weapon. I guess there just wasn't enough room in the description for it. Anyway, clearly I gotta head back to the inn. Also, you'll note that that guy is not able to step onto the space that I'd be jumping onto, which, again, is a nice touch. Also, I just realized that I've been saving on the file that I used to get up to this point, rather than make a backup just in case I have to re-record the episode again. So I really am hoping that this episode takes well. I know it's recording because I have it so that Hypercam becomes invisible whenever it's recording. It's not even in the taskbar. I know it's got the window focus on the right place because that was the very last thing I did before I started recording. So, hopefully this goes well. So anyway, yeah, my decision, Sly Cooper. Of course, well, first off, back to the S-video thing. I figured as long as I was going back to Aiden Chronicles, I might as well set up my LP to, now that's a nice amount of damage. Kinda makes me wonder, if I used the other attack, the one that attacks twice, will it consider the elemental damage? Well, guess we'll find out here momentarily. Actually, I should have just found out here, because this guy has a lot of HP. So I will, assuming Rip doesn't kill him. Rip killed him. I think we're almost to the end of the dungeon. Chocolate cake. That's a nice one. Restores 100 MP. Yep, I have to head back to the inn, even with this new sword. No, not that. Anyway. So, since I decided to use the S-video cable for Aiden Chronicles, that meant I had to rearrange a couple things in order to record with the S-video. And that was tedious, but not a big deal because I didn't have to rearrange everything. But since Aiden Chronicles LP was going to be postponed for a while and I was moving to my PS2, I don't have to re-equip that. this meant that I did have to go behind my entertainment cabinet and rearrange all the cables, and this was really difficult because apparently I forgot how I had planned out the rearrangement. Eventually I figured it out though. I got the S-Video plugged into my PS2, I turned it on, and it didn't work. Okay, yeah, my PS2 did work. It was running, but I was only getting sound from one audio channel, and there was no video signal. Now, of course, this worries me because it's like, okay, it's something wrong with my PS2, so I plug back in the old cable, and that works just fine. No, apparently the S-Video cable I got for my PS2 doesn't work. A quick look inside the plug shows that the S-Video cable has a whole lot more tabs showing. I don't know if this is supposed to be how it is in order to get it working for the for the S-Video, but either way, the fact remains that S-Video cable doesn't work, and it's been so long that since I bought the S-Video cable, I don't know who I got it from, so I can't ask for a refund, and I don't know who to watch out for whenever I get get a different one. So yeah, last weekend, really bad weekend for doing Let's Plays. And you know the rest of the story. I eventually decided to go ahead and go back to Aiden Chronicles anyway. It didn't take that long to get back to where I was. And that's the end of my story, and just in time because here's the boss. Do I have my equipment set up right? Yep. I must warn you, adventurers, I will fight you to protect the Star Talisman. Oh, that's okay, we're the good guys, we're going to protect it too. Actually, we're not just protecting it, we're going to use it to fight some ultimate evil that's coming back into the world. So you don't have to fight us, you can join us if you want. Then we fight. We have to get the talisman. Or you could just tell her that we're the good guys and we're going to use the talisman to defeat some ultimate evil. So be it, travelers. Prepare yourself. No, seriously, why are we fighting her? She's obviously a good guy trying to protect the talisman. We're obviously good guys trying to use the talisman for the purpose of good. Why do we have to fight her? Why can't we tell her that we're the good guys? Instead, we got a boss battle based entirely on misunderstandings. Alright, first thing we're going to use Rengeki. Second, we're going to use this burning bomb. Now, the unfortunate thing here is, on my last playthrough, last attempt on this Let's Play, I had a second burning bomb. I don't remember where I got it. It probably was from an enemy, but for all I know, there was some sort of hidden item somewhere. It didn't matter anyway because I completely forgot to use the burning bomb. But here we're going to remember to use it, but since we only have one, that means it's unlikely that it's going to work. It didn't work. Wonderful. But we still do have the, let's see, we got poison darts. We got 3 of them. So maybe we'll poison Voluma. It won't be as effective as burn. 145, 189. Try poison one more time. You know, that's definitely powerful, but this is just a bit more powerful. Also, I'm getting hurt bad, so I'm going to... well, I'll save that. And then I'm going to use I'm not sure what I'm going to use. Well, that's going to be useful. I have a lot of those, actually. Okay, I have 3 of those now, so I'm going to use that. Holy cow, this person hurts. Thank you for being confused. Yeah, this person gave me a lot of trouble even with confusion, so... Alright, now that we got that figured out, let's go ahead and... No, not yet. We'll wait until... whenever. We'll save my MP for the moment and use double tap. One more thing that I'd like to mention before we get through this battle, before I end this episode. RPG Maker Pavilion, for those unaware, first off is having its 11th anniversary, which is cool that it lasted that long, even though there haven't been any new console RPG makers since, what, 2005? But there's also a new contest going on for RPG Maker XP and RPG Maker VX. Basically, you have 4 months to create a new RPG, to create something brand new. Thank you for casting a spell that barely causes any damage. No, seriously, I really want to poison or confuse you. There's no rule other than that it has to be for what the RPG makers that I mentioned. And it has to be, well, something new. That's the name of the contest anyway. And basically, winner gets either RPG Maker VX, RPG Maker XP plus $25 for something, or $50 for something. I know it's kind of silly to have a contest for RPG Maker and VX and XP whenever the prizes are also possibly RPG Maker XP or VX, but it's entirely possible to create a game with the trials versions of the game, or of RPG Maker, what have you, so, you know, it'd still be a nice prize. Plus, not everybody has both RPG Maker XP and VX. But it's nice to have a little contest like that. Be interesting to see if it succeeds. Of course, the fact that I'm telling this in a video where I'm introducing myself, my Let's Plays to an RPG Maker VX community might be bad news for people of the contest, because this community demands good games. I'm almost hesitant to use that. So I'll use this instead. Or maybe I won't. Angelic Halo. Or I'll just die. And that's why I was willing to use confusion on this person. So we gotta go through this senseless battle again. Well, technically again, because I already won this battle once before. Well, maybe burn will work this time. Yay! Burn is very useful, because not only is it going to cause damage every turn, but it's going to cause an increasing amount of damage every turn. Actually, now that we're got a fresh start, I'm going to use this. We're going to find out what it does. Ow. Defense. Wait, what? Did it only do defense, or did the messages just go so fast that we couldn't see what all it did? Because I see an attack up icon. Not to mention, what is possession? Whatever, use Guy's Bane. And we don't need to worry about poisoning this person. Although now that I think about it, we should have tried confusing this person. Except we can't, so I'm gonna take this moment to use Medkit and Medkit. I'm glad I got plenty of those. Are medkits buyable items? I forget. Because if they are, this is a very useful item to buy. And I might stock up on them before going into the final dungeon. Assuming I know which dungeon I enter is the final dungeon. Yay! You know, this is a whole lot better when I'm actually pausing the commentary to actually look for what is going on in the battle. Because I've noticed lately there are a whole lot of times where I'm going, and I totally wasn't paying attention to what was going on. And that started to get annoying for me, so I can only imagine this getting annoying for some of my viewers. Ah, screw it, I'm using Guy's Bane again. Oh, and now he's only got a shield icon and no attack icon. Not sure what those are that. But yeah, I'm taking the time to... If I'm looking to see the result of something, I'll remain quiet for a moment and watch for that. Sure, the silence is kind of silency, but it's worth it to... Yay! That went a whole lot better. And that's why I wanted to burn this person. No idea how much damage the burning was causing, but you just know it had to be an extreme amount. Oh no. That means because I was paying attention to... Not paying attention to how much damage burn was... Oh, let me start that over. Because I don't know how much burn was causing, it's not going to be easy to calculate how much HP she has. Although then again, I still have the alternate file where I lost. I can watch that and calculate her HP then, because I like seeing how much HP bosses have. Anyway, alright! We beat that ice female dog. Let's get the talisman. We got the star talisman. Which reminds me, I can't remember if I asked this before, but... Wait a sec. You didn't heal us after the boss that time? Alright, first we're going to go back to healing. Second, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, we're pretty much going to end it here. I could take it to the Grand Adept or whatever his name was, but at the end of my last attempt, I decided to sneak a peek up there because I had a suspicion that the moment I headed up there, something interesting was going to happen now that I have all 3 talismans. And I was right. What's going to happen? Well, you're going to have to wait until I find out. Incidentally, for this alternate file, I decided to go up to, well, skip this person, because she's all introducing us to the temple. And figure, hey, if I skip her, will she still introduce me whenever I come here again? And it looks like, yep, that she definitely is like we're talking to the person for the first time. Anyway, next time we go to see the High Adept and something happens. But coming up next, it's not Mario's Amazing Adventure because I've got a busy week ahead of me because the work schedule was screwed up for this week because I got to fill in for somebody this week. So instead, coming up next is Aiden Chronicles, in which we're going to continue exploring the castle and hopefully finish exploring the castle and get our final party member. But whether that will actually happen, who knows? I'll see you then. Oh, and we're going to go back to the party with Iris. And this time I'm going to have 2 files so that I don't have to deal with this mess again. See you later.